Welcome to BigFoeNation. This is Big Foe. If you want to follow us, you can do so at BigFoeNation on all social media, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or you can follow us directly on the website. The website is BigFoeNation.com. And if you like what we're doing, you can donate directly on the website by clicking the donate button and following the instructions. So, welcome to episode 3. Today's episode is concerning Plato. So, Plato is a contemporary of Socrates. He was born in 427 BC. Of the three, his ideas are laid out probably the most clearly because he actually has a surviving work or series of works, a volume of collection of works, dialogues, starring our previous episode in most of them, Socrates. But the whole dynamic that was laid out before between universal law and everything otherwise is laid out most clearly with Plato and his life and his students would go on to influence what we would know today as philosophy. His most famous student, Aristotle, who not long after graduating from the Platonic Academy, as Plato created a school of learning in honor of Socrates. So after Socrates' death, shortly after, his ideas gained a lot of strength based on his conviction, which is many times the case. But years after graduating from the Platonic Academy, Aristotle opened up his own lyceum, which is another kind of school of learning, where he taught the exact opposite. And everything that was taught at the Platonic Academy was basically rejected. Everything that could be rejected was rejected. So the dynamic between the two schools is shown in Gorgias, but then extenuated or accentuated in the actions of Plato's most famous student. It's interesting because Aristotle is often looked at as the expert on both Plato and Socrates, as Plato was a student of Socrates and Aristotle the student of Plato. But it is very important to note that Aristotle's ideas and his writings were mostly opposed to the findings of Socrates and Plato. And we're back. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty there. So as we were saying about the distinction between Aristotle and Plato that is clear in looking at the lives of the two. One interesting thing is that Plato makes his arguments in the form of a dialogue. So what he tries to do is take the opposition, his enemies, you could say. He tries to create the best version of their argument, or a steel man, as they often say. So he tries to create the best steel man of his opponent's argument as he can, maybe even being generous in some ways. and tries to defeat that version of the argument. So he manifests those arguments in the form of other characters that are going to be asking questions to Socrates and others and testing their judgment. And in defeating them, he actually has gained something, because his goal there is to gain knowledge. But if you look at how Aristotle does it, he does it completely different. He doesn't have a dialogue, he has a monologue. And when he's attacking the ideas of he calls them friends, those who brought the theory of form are friends. He calls them friends, but he calls them friends in a writing where he's attacking them. He doesn't give their argument its full justice. He either actually understood it in a very superficial way, or did not give it a proper steelman, as they say, and then or he strawmanned them, as people like to say. So what Aristotle does is he strawmans both Plato and Socrates, defeats this straw man, and then reigns supreme. And degrades their legacy by corrupting it, so that even if it's revised, it either is revised with his interpretation or, well, mostly with his interpretation, or not at all. So Plato's got a lot of important writings that are worth reading. Probably if I were going to name a few that I think you should get on if you haven't got on any, I would say you got Georgius, the Republic, all of them, Timaeus, Meno, Apology, Parmenides, and Laws. I think if you want to get a good idea of what Plato was trying to portray, and the method of dialogue in the search of truth, or sorting out between nonsense. So yeah, those would be the ones that we would mainly mention. So we'll continue later. This is Big Foe. Follow us at BigFoeNation, and at BigFoeNation.com you can sign up to get all the info for when the next videos are coming out and all the such. So take care, people. Bye.